Welcome to this deep dive
What?
into the human circulatory system.
Okay.
We'll be exploring a chapter from a biology textbook.
Right.
And even if textbooks aren't your usual thing,
Yeah.
I promise
But-
you won't want to miss this.
Okay.
Today, we're going way beyond the basics
Right.
to uncover some truly fascinating details
Yeah.
about your own body.
I'm excited.
So
Yeah.
it's amazing how often we take our circulatory system for granted.
Oh, absolutely. It's just there humming along in
Yeah.
the background. We don't
Right.
really think about it.
Yeah.
But when you really understand how this intricate network operates,
Right.
it can completely change how you perceive your own body.
Absolutely. Okay, let's start with the fundamentals.
Okay.
Why do complex organisms like us even need a circulatory system in the first place?
Well, unlike single-celled organisms that can simply absorb nutrients and oxygen directly from their environment,
Right.
humans are made up of trillions of cells.
Okay.
And each one needs a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients
Mm.
to function as well as a way to get rid of waste products.
So it's like our body needs its own internal delivery and waste management system.
Precisely.
Wow.
Think of it this way. Every time you have a thought,
Mm-hmm.
that's oxygen being delivered to your brain cells.
Wow.
Every time you move a muscle,
Yeah.
that's nutrients fueling those contractions.
Okay.
Without a circulatory system, none of that would be possible.
That's a really interesting way to think about it. So
Yeah.
every thought I have,
Yeah,
every movement I make is
Yeah.
powered by my circulatory system.
exactly.
Wow.
But beyond transportation, the circulatory system also plays a vital role in regulating your body temperature and fighting off
Oh.
disease.
Wait, my blood is involved in temperature regulation.
Absolutely. Think about what happens when you exercise.
Okay.
Your skin flushes as your circulatory system works to spread heat from your muscles
Wow.
to keep your overall temperature stable.
Okay.
It's like your blood acts as an internal thermostat.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And you mentioned something about disease fighting too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Your blood also acts as a highway for disease-fighting cells and antibodies,
Okay.
constantly patrolling your body for invaders.
Wow.
It's a pretty remarkable system.
Okay, I am officially impressed.
Good.
So now that we've established how vital the system is,
Right.
let's break down the highway system itself.
Okay.
The blood vessel.
Blood vessels, yeah.
We've got arteries, veins, capillaries.
Mhm.
What makes each of them unique?
So we can start with arteries.
Okay.
Arteries are the high-pressure pipelines of your circulatory system.
Okay.
They have thick elastic walls
Yeah.
built to withstand the force of blood
Right.
being pumped out of the heart.
So does that elasticity have something to do with why we can feel our pulse?
You got it.
Really?
Each time the heart beats, it sends a surge of blood through the arteries,
Right.
causing them to expand and contract.
Okay.
That's what you feel as your pulse.
Wow.
And the strength and elasticity of arteries
Yeah.
are essential for maintaining healthy blood pressure.
Right.
That's what your doctor is measuring with that inflatable cuff.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Arteries, check. Now, what about those tiny capillaries?
Okay, so
They always seem kind of mysterious to me.
capillaries are where the real magic happens.
Okay.
These vessels are so incredibly thin
Wow.
that red blood cells have to squeeze through single file.
Really?
And this slowness is crucial
Okay.
because it allows time for oxygen and nutrients
Hmm.
to be delivered to your tissues and waste products to be removed.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah,
So it's not just about speed, it's about efficiency too.
exactly.
Did you also mention something about capillary beds opening and closing on demand?
Yes. Each capillary bed is surrounded by tiny muscle cuffs called sphincters.
Okay.
These sphincters can constrict or relax,
Oh.
effectively opening or closing the capillary bed depending on the body's needs. It's a fascinating example of the body's ability to regulate blood flow at a microscopic level.
That's some next level body efficiency right there.
It is.
Okay, we've covered the intricate network of blood vessels,
Right.
but now let's talk about the heart of the matter, literally.
The heart.
Tell me about the heart itself.
Okay, so the heart is a truly remarkable organ.
Yeah.
Its location, its size,
Mm-hmm.
even the way it's tilted slightly to the left in your chest.
Oh,
Every detail contributes to its incredible efficiency.
okay.
Imagine it about the size of your fist,
Okay.
tirelessly beating within your chest cavity,
Mm-hmm.
pumping blood throughout your entire body.
Wow.
Did you know that the aorta, your largest artery,
Yeah.
is about the diameter of a garden hose?
What?
That's a lot of blood flowing through.
That's wild.
Yeah,
It's amazing how something so relatively small can have such a huge impact.
it really is.
And speaking of tireless, what's the deal with cardiac muscle?
Okay, so
It never gets a break.
cardiac muscle is unique.
Ugh.
It's incredibly strong and resistant to fatigue,
Whoa.
allowing your heart to beat constantly throughout your lifetime.
Oh, wow.
But what's truly mind-blowing
Yeah.
is that while it can contract on its own,
Oh.
our nervous system has the power to speed it up or slow it down depending on our needs.
So like a super-powered engine that can rev up or down as needed.
Exactly. Now let's talk about those four chambers.
Okay.
2 atria and 2 ventricles.
Yeah.
The left and right sides of the heart
Mm-hmm.
are completely separated
Okay.
by a thick wall called the septum.
Right.
And this separation is absolutely key for oxygen efficiency.
Okay. I remember hearing about that, but why is it so important to keep those sides separate?
Think of it this way.
Okay.
The right side of your heart receives deoxygenated blood from the body
Okay.
and pumps it to the lungs to pick up fresh oxygen.
Right.
The left side receives that newly oxygenated blood
Oh.
from the lungs
Mm.
and pumps it out to the rest of the body
Right.
by keeping those streams separate. The heart ensures that the most oxygen-rich blood is delivered to your organs and tissues.
So it's all about maximizing oxygen delivery.
That's exactly it.
Now, I know the left ventricle is often referred to as the powerhouse of the heart.
Right.
Why is that?
Because it's the chamber responsible for pumping that oxygenated blood out to the entire body.
Okay.
It needs to generate enough force to propel blood through the aorta
Right.
and from there to all your organs and tissues.
That makes sense. And if I remember correctly, even the heart itself needs its own blood supply, right?
You got it.
Really?
The heart, like any other organ, needs a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients to function.
Okay.
That's where the coronary arteries come in.
Okay.
These special blood vessels branch off from the aorta
Right.
and wrap around the heart, delivering that vital blood supply.
It's amazing how interconnected everything is within this system.
Absolutely.
All right. There's one more heart feature I've always been curious about. The valves.
Okay, the valves.
I know they prevent backflow, but how exactly do they work?
Imagine them as one-way gates,
Okay.
strategically placed throughout the heart.
Okay.
There are valves
Okay.
between the atria and ventricles
Hmm.
called atrioventricular valves
Right.
and valves at the base of the aorta and pulmonary artery
Mm-hmm.
called semilunar valves.
Right.
As the heart contracts and relaxes,
Yeah.
these valves open and close in perfect synchronization,
Okay.
ensuring blood flows in the right direction.
And that's what creates that lubbed up sound we hear when we listen to our heartbeat.
Precisely.
Wow.
That lub sound is the atrioventricular valves closing
Right.
as the ventricles contract.
Okay.
And the dup sound is the semilunar valves closing
Right.
as the ventricles relax.
Okay.
It's like a little symphony of blood flow happening inside your chest. Thinking about how hard my heart is working, even while I sleep, makes me feel like I should be thanking it more often.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
Okay, so we've explored the heart structure,
right.
but now I want to understand the actual journey. Okay.
A single drop of blood takes through this incredible system.
Let's trace that journey.
Okay.
Our drop of blood, now depleted of oxygen,
Mm-hmm.
enters the heart through two large veins.
Okay.
The superior vena cava,
Right.
bringing blood from the upper body, and the inferior vena cava, bringing blood from the lower body.
So all that deoxygenated blood is funneled into the right atrium.
Exactly.
Okay.
From there, our little drop is squeezed through the tricuspid valve
Right.
and into the right ventricle.
Okay.
The right ventricle then pumps the blood through the pulmonary valve and into the pulmonary artery.
Hold on. Pulmonary artery?
Yeah,
But I thought arteries carried oxygenated blood.
you're right. Most arteries do.
Okay.
But the pulmonary artery is the exception.
Oh.
It's the vessel responsible for carrying deoxygenated blood to the lungs,
Okay.
where it will be refreshed with oxygen.
Oh, okay. So our little blood drop is off to the lungs. What happens next?
In the lungs, our blood drop travels through tiny capillaries surrounding the alveoli.
Those tiny air sacs where gas exchange takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Oxygen diffuses from the alveoli into the blood,
Right.
while carbon dioxide diffuses out of the blood and into the lungs to be exhaled.
So our blood drop is now fully oxygenated and ready to return to the heart.
Yes, it travels back to the heart through the pulmonary veins.
Okay.
Another exception to the usual rule of veins carrying deoxygenated blood.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The pulmonary veins deliver that freshly oxygenated blood to the left atrium.
Okay, so our blood drop has made a full loop.
Not quite yet.
Oh.
It still has one more important stop.
Okay.
From the left atrium, The blood is pumped through the mitral valve and into the left ventricle,
Okay.
that powerhouse chamber we talked about earlier.
Right.
And from there, the left ventricle pumps it out through the aortic valve and into the aorta,
Okay.
ready to be delivered to every corner of the body.
Wow.
This entire journey, by the way, happens in less than a minute.
Really?
It's a testament to the incredible efficiency of your circulatory system.
Wow, what a journey. But wait, the aorta doesn't just go to one place, right?
Right.
It has to branch out to reach all the different organs.
Absolutely. The aorta is like a grand central station,
Okay.
branching off into smaller and smaller arteries
Oh, wow.
that deliver blood to specific destinations.
Okay.
For example, the hepatic artery carries blood to the liver, the renal arteries to the kidneys, and
Right.
so on. It's a remarkable distribution network.
This is already blowing my mind.
Yeah.
And we haven't even touched on what's actually in blood besides oxygen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready for even more amazing details.
Well, then let's dive into the fascinating world of blood components
Yeah.
and their diverse functions.
So we've been focusing on oxygen,
Yeah.
but blood carries so much more than just that.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
What else is hitching a ride in this bloodstream express?
Well, for instance, we've talked about oxygen as a crucial passenger.
Right.
But what about the carbon dioxide produced by our cells? It's a waste product that needs to be transported out of the body.
Right, we breathe it out, but how does it get from our cells all the way to our lungs?
That's where the body's impressive chemistry comes in.
Okay.
Most carbon dioxide dissolves directly into the blood plasma,
Okay.
not the red blood cells.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the really interesting part.
Okay.
It doesn't travel as simple CO2.
What?
It's converted into bicarbonate ions.
Bicarbonate ions.
Yes.
Okay, you're getting a bit technical for me here.
Sure.
What's the key takeaway?
Simply put, our bodies have incredible mechanisms for transporting substances,
Right.
even potentially harmful ones,
Yeah.
safely and efficiently.
So the blood is like a master chemist,
It is.
transforming substances on the fly as needed.
Exactly.
That's pretty wild.
And speaking of waste management,
Okay.
let's not forget about urea.
Urea.
Yeah.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
It might.
Refresh my memory.
It's a waste product produced by the liver when it breaks down proteins.
Right.
Just like carbon dioxide, urea needs to be removed efficiently.
Okay.
So it travels in the bloodstream
Mm-hmm.
from the liver to the kidneys,
Okay.
where it's filtered out, and exits the body as urine.
Ah, that's the connection.
Yes.
It's like our bodies have this intricate waste disposal system running all the time.
We do.
Okay, so we've got carbon dioxide and urea being transported out.
Right.
But what about the good stuff coming in?
Okay.
How do nutrients from our food get to our cells?
That's where we revisit that fascinating detour we mentioned
Yeah.
earlier,
Okay.
a hepatic portal vein.
Right.
Remember how it carries blood from the digestive system straight to the liver?
Yes. I was wondering why it takes that special route.
It all comes down to nutrient processing.
Okay.
When you digest food,
Mm-hmm.
nutrients are absorbed into the bloodstream in the small intestine.
Right.
But instead of heading directly to the heart,
Yeah.
they take a detour through the hepatic portal vein,
Okay.
landing in the liver first.
Right.
The liver is like the body's quality control center. It processes those nutrients,
Mhm.
stores some,
Okay.
converts others,
Yeah.
and releases the rest back into the bloodstream to be distributed where needed.
So it's like the liver checks the quality of those nutrients,
Uh-huh.
packages them up, and then sends them on their way.
A perfect analogy.
Okay, great.
And while we're on the topic of the liver,
Yeah.
it's worth noting that it's also responsible for removing old and damaged red blood cells from circulation, breaking them down and recycling their components.
So it does that too.
It's a real multitasker.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Okay.
The circulatory system is all about efficiency.
Yes, very much so.
What else is blood transporting besides waste and nutrients?
Hold on to your hats, because this
Yeah.
is where things get really mind-blowing.
Okay.
Blood is also an information superhighway,
Okay.
carrying chemical messengers called hormones throughout the body.
Hormones.
Yeah,
The things that regulate mood and growth and all that.
exactly.
Okay.
Hormones are produced by glands throughout the body.
Yeah.
And they need a way to reach their target organs and tissues.
Right.
So they use the bloodstream like a high-speed rail network,
Okay.
traveling to their destinations and delivering messages that control all sorts of bodily functions.
That's incredible.
It is.
So my blood isn't just carrying physical stuff.
Right.
It's carrying information that keeps my whole body running smoothly.
Precisely.
Wow.
It's a communication network as complex as any internet system.
It's a great way to put it.
Now, speaking of complex systems,
Yeah,
have you ever wondered about blood types?
definitely. I know it's super important for transfusions,
It is.
but I've always been a bit fuzzy on the details.
Okay.
Why are there different blood types and why does it matter?
It's all about compatibility.
Okay.
Essentially, our blood cells have these little identification tags called antigens on their surface.
Okay.
Your immune system uses these antigens to recognize which cells belong to your body
Right.
and which are foreign.
So if someone receives the wrong blood type, their body might see it as an invader.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's why blood types are so important for transfusions.
Okay.
If you receive incompatible blood,
Right.
your immune system can attack the donor cells,
Okay.
causing them to clump together.
Oh, wow.
This can be extremely dangerous,
Right.
even fatal.
Wow, that's serious business.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do the different blood types we hear about fit into all this?
The most important blood type systems are ABO and RH.
Okay.
The ABO system focuses on the presence or absence of two antigens,
Yeah.
A and B.
Okay.
So if your red blood cells only have A antigens,
Yeah.
you have type A blood.
Okay.
If they have only B antigens, you have type B blood.
Right.
If they have both, you're type AB. And if they have neither,
Yeah.
you have type O.
Okay, that makes sense.
Good.
But what about those plus and minus signs after the blood type? That's the RH factor, right?
Right, the RH factor looks at another antigen
Okay.
called the D antigen.
Right.
If you have it, you're RH positive.
Okay.
If you don't, you're RH negative.
So combining these two systems gives us the 8 main blood types. It's A
Exactly.
plus A, B plus B, AB plus, AB, O plus O.
Exactly.
Got it.
And each type has implications for who they can donate to and receive from.
Right.
For example, people with type O blood are considered universal donors
Right.
because their red blood cells don't have any of the A, B, or D antigens.
Okay.
This means their blood is compatible with all other blood types.
So O blood is like the superhero of blood types?
You could say that.
Okay.
And on the other end of the spectrum, people with type AB plus blood are universal recipients
Okay.
because they have all three antigens
Right.
and won't attack any other blood type.
It's amazing how such tiny differences can have such a huge impact on our health.
It really is.
Okay, so blood types are all about compatibility,
Yes.
making sure the recipient's immune system doesn't reject the donated blood.
Right. That's fascinating. But we've been talking about the cardiovascular system this whole time.
And you mentioned earlier that there's another circulatory system involved.
Yes. Alongside the cardiovascular system,
Oh, okay.
we have the lymphatic system,
Yeah, okay.
a network of vessels, tissues, and organs,
Wow.
crucial for immunity and fluid balance.
Another circulatory system?
Yeah.
I thought we only had one.
The cardiovascular system is the main one,
Okay.
but the lymphatic system works in close partnership with it.
Okay.
Remember how some plasma leaks out of the blood capillaries and becomes tissue fluid?
Yes.
Well, the lymphatic system collects this excess fluid and returns it to the bloodstream.
So it's like a recycling system for our body fluids.
Precisely. And that's not all.
Oh, there's more.
The lymphatic system plays a vital role in filtering and cleaning this fluid,
Okay.
known as lymph,
Uh-huh.
as it travels through a series of lymph nodes.
Lymph nodes. Those are the things that sometimes swell up when we're sick, right?
Exactly. They're like tiny filtering stations,
Okay.
strategically placed along the lymphatic vessels. Lymph nodes house a variety of immune cells that attack and destroy any bacteria,
Right.
viruses, or other harmful substances they encounter in the lymph.
So when lymph nodes are swollen,
Yeah.
it means our immune system is working hard to fight off an infection.
That's right. And besides filtering lymph, the lymphatic system also helps absorb fats from our digestive system and transport them into the bloodstream.
Okay. I'm really starting to see how interconnected everything is within our bodies.
It is.
The cardiovascular system and the lymphatic system work together to keep things balanced and functioning properly.
They do. But even these incredibly well-designed systems can face challenges.
Oh.
One of the most common and concerning issues is atherosclerosis.
Atherosclerosis. That's something to do with clogged arteries, right?
You're right.
Okay.
Atherosclerosis is a condition where plaque builds up inside the arteries,
Right.
narrowing them and restricting blood flow.
Okay.
This plaque is made up of fat, cholesterol, and other substances.
Mhm.
It's like rust building up inside pipes, but far more dangerous in the context of our bodies
Okay. That doesn't sound good. Why is it so dangerous?
because restricted blood flow can have serious consequences.
Right.
Think about it.
Okay.
If this happens in the arteries supplying the brain,
Yeah.
it can lead to a stroke.
Wow.
If it affects the arteries supplying the kidneys, it can cause kidney failure.
Oh my God.
And if it happens in the coronary arteries,
Hmm.
the ones that supply the heart itself,
That sounds terrifying. What happens then?
It can lead to coronary heart disease
Okay.
or CHD, one of the leading causes of death worldwide.
Wow.
When plaque builds up in the coronary arteries,
Right.
it restricts blood flow to the heart muscle,
Okay.
depriving it of oxygen and nutrients.
Right.
This can cause chest pain, known as angina,
Okay.
and in severe cases, a heart attack,
Wow.
where part of the heart muscle actually dies.
This is all getting a bit scary.
Oh.
Are there things we can do to prevent atherosclerosis?
The good news is that many risk factors for atherosclerosis and CHD are within our control.
Okay, good.
Things like smoking,
Right.
high blood pressure,
Okay.
high cholesterol,
Yeah.
lack of physical activity,
Right.
and a diet high in saturated and trans fats
Okay.
all contribute to plaque buildup.
So maintaining a healthy lifestyle is key.
Exactly.
Okay.
Quitting smoking,
Right.
eating a balanced diet,
Mm-hmm.
exercising regularly,
All right.
and managing stress
Yeah.
can significantly reduce your risk.
Okay.
And if you have any underlying conditions like high blood pressure or high cholesterol,
Yeah.
working with your doctor to manage them effectively is crucial.
That makes sense.
Understanding these risk factors can empower you to take control of your cardiovascular health.
Okay. That's reassuring. It's a lot to take in,
I know.
but it's motivating to know we can make a difference.
It is.
But what about those already dealing with CHD?
Here.
Are there treatments available?
Fortunately, yes.
Okay.
Treatments range from lifestyle changes and medications
Okay.
to surgical procedures,
Okay.
depending on the severity.
Right.
Medications can help lower cholesterol,
Okay.
control blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and prevent blood clots.
And what about surgical options?
In more severe cases, procedures like angioplasty
Right.
can be used to open up blocked arteries.
Oh.
Angioplasty involves inserting a tiny balloon into the narrowed artery
Okay.
and inflating it to widen the passage.
Interesting.
Often a stent, a small mesh tube,
Okay.
is also inserted to help keep the artery open.
It's amazing what medical technology can do.
It really is.
But are there any options if angioplasty isn't enough?
In the most extreme cases, a heart transplant may be necessary.
Wow, we've covered so much ground today. I'm feeling overwhelmed, but in a good way.
It is a lot.
It's incredible to think about how much is going on inside our bodies every second of every day.
It is.
From the grand highways of arteries and veins
Right.
to the microscopic filtering stations of lymph nodes. It's a symphony of activity happening inside us all the time.
It truly is. And I hope this exploration has inspired you to appreciate your own circulatory system
Oh, yeah.
and pay attention to what your body is telling you.
Yeah.
Listen to your pulse, your
Mhm.
energy levels,
Right.
and any signs of fatigue or swelling.
Right.
These can all offer clues about how your circulatory system is functioning.
That's a great point. I think we often take our bodies for granted.
Yeah, we do.
But this journey through the circulatory system has reminded me just how much we rely on its constant silent work.
We do. And remember, this is just the beginning.
Oh, there's more.
There's so much more to discover about the circulatory system.
Okay.
Its connections with the immune system are fascinating,
Yeah.
our conditions, and their treatments are constantly evolving,
Yeah.
and researchers are making incredible breakthroughs in new therapies.
Wow.
It's a field that's always advancing.
That's great to hear. All right, so we haven't even delved into the lymphatic system in detail yet.
You're right. There's so much more to explore about this unsung hero of our immune system.
Well, then let's dive in.
Oh.
I'm ready for more lymphatic revelations. All right, back to the lymphatic system. I'm ready to hear more about this unsung hero you mentioned.
It really is a fascinating system,
Yeah.
working silently in the background, keeping everything running smoothly.
You mentioned that the lymphatic system collects excess fluid from our tissues and returns it to the bloodstream.
Right.
But how does that fluid actually move? There isn't a central pump like the heart in the lymphatic system, is there?
That's a great question. The lymphatic system relies on a clever combination of mechanisms.
Okay.
First, the vessels themselves have one-way valves similar to veins,
Right.
which prevent backflow and keep everything moving in the right direction.
Okay.
But the real driving force is the contraction of muscles,
Okay.
especially during movement and exercise.
Oh, okay.
Every time your muscles contract, they gently squeeze the lymphatic vessels,
Okay.
propelling the lymph forward.
So every time I move, I'm helping my lymphatic system function at its best. Yet another reason to stay active.
Exactly.
You also mentioned lymph nodes earlier. Can you remind me what they are and what they do?
Think of lymph nodes as the busy marketplaces of your immune system.
Okay.
They're those small, bean-shaped organs strategically located along the lymphatic vessels.
Right.
As lymph flows through these nodes,
Yeah.
it's filtered and cleansed.
So they're like tiny filtering stations. That's amazing. But what's actually going on inside those nodes?
Inside each lymph node, you'll find a diverse community of immune cells,
Wow.
including lymphocytes and macrophages.
Lymphocytes and macrophages. Those names ring a bell.
Yeah.
Can you break down what each of them does?
Think of lymphocytes as the specialized soldiers of your immune system.
Okay.
They're the ones that recognize and target specific invaders, like bacteria and viruses.
Oh, okay.
Some lymphocytes produce antibodies,
Mhm.
those Y-shaped proteins we talked about earlier.
Right.
These antibodies attach to invaders and mark them for destruction.
So they're like little tags.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Other lymphocytes take a more direct approach, attacking and destroying infected cells.
It's like there's a microscopic battle going on inside each lymph node.
It really is. And macrophages are like the cleanup crew,
Okay.
engulfing and destroying any cellular debris waste products or pathogens that have been flagged for removal.
That's incredible. So the lymph nodes are constantly working to ensure the lymph is thoroughly clean before it returns to the bloodstream. It's pretty impressive considering how tiny they are.
They really are hard workers.
Oh.
And speaking of impressive lymphatic organs,
Okay.
we can't forget the spleen.
Oh, yeah, the spleen. What role does it play in all of this?
The spleen is the largest lymphatic organ
Okay.
tucked away in the upper left part of your abdomen.
Right.
It acts as blood filter, removing old and damaged red blood cells from circulation.
Oh, wow.
It also stores a reserve of healthy red blood cells and platelets ready to be released into the bloodstream if needed.
So it's like a quality control center and storage facility all rolled into one.
That's a great way to put it. And just like lymph nodes, the spleen houses a variety of immune cells, making it another key player in your body's defense system.
Wow, this deep dive has been a real eye-opener. I had no idea how intricate and interconnected our circulatory system truly is.
It really is.
From the grand highways of arteries and veins to the microscopic filtering stations of lymph nodes,
Yeah,
it's a symphony of activity happening inside us all the time.
a symphony of life, keeping us going every second of every day.
And I think we've all learned a lot more about how to keep that symphony playing smoothly.
Absolutely. Taking care of your circulatory system through healthy habits and regular checkups
Yeah,
is the best way to ensure it keeps playing that beautiful music for years to come.
couldn't have said it better myself. A huge thank you to you for sharing your expertise with us today.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners for joining us on this deep dive into the circulatory system.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you've gained a newfound appreciation for the incredible processes happening within your own body right now. Stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, take care of your amazing circulatory system.